Hey YouTubers, how you doing? Uh, I'm going to give you a small Watchman on the Wall report. I'm going to try not to talk as much as I did. Last time I talked a little over half an hour, and I know your time is very busy, or maybe you're just surfing for videos. I don't know. But I'll tell you this, that with me you're going to truly get a condensed report in a short period of time. I don't want to keep you. I'm not really the type that can walk down the street or the woods and just kind of talk about a lot of different things and then finally get to a point. I'm just not the type that would want to do that. I guess I could, but I don't think I want to do that. All right. Hang on to the end because I'm going to explain what the fig tree generation means. And no, it did not start in May 14th, 1948. Because we have to read Matthew 24:32 very, very close because Jesus gets very specified on when the fig tree generation starts. Okay. And the last part of the verse does say, then you'll know that summer is nigh. I'm inclined to believe that's the rapture. I'm not 100% sure. I'm inclined to believe it. Um, so, I'm going to give you some current events. All this information did make the press, but I'm going to kind of capsulize it in more general terms, and I'm going to break it down and try and explain to you how very close we are to the rapture and all these things. The last 4 videos I gave were very, very important. I cover a lot of material. I can't keep repeating myself. I revealed a lot of prophetic truths to explain why there probably, in my opinion, there's going to be a summer rapture in 2023. Okay, so okay, let's talk about the Euphrates River drying up. Revelation chapter 16 says the kings of the east will walk right over that river. Okay, it's dried up. But that's not the only prophecy to that. Now, right now, Syria, Iraq, and Turkey they're going to really suffer. Okay, because of that water drying up. That was their survival, and it's not just those 3 countries that are going to be hurting. This will also affect Ezekiel 38 and 39, and it will cause those nations to move pretty fast. Okay, and here's the reason why. God is putting the hook in their jaw. All those nations that you see in Ezekiel 38, they see that water is a commodity in the Middle East. Israel invented, they have an invention where they can make water from air. And they want that invention. So it's not just the vast resources of oil that they want. It's also the water to air. And they just found, I think, more resources, if you can believe that, on top of all the other resources that they got. So the countries there, especially Russia, is probably very jealous. They want that. They see that. And I heard that there was a sunspot that they just formed in 5 minutes, and that sunspot was actually bigger than planet Earth. That's unbelievable. I mean, we see all these things taking place, A lot of natural disasters in New Zealand. So God is definitely speaking. Now, I'm just, there's a lot of specifics when it comes to the formation of war. Um, I will say that uh, each and every actor, including our politicians, have been playing their role to the T. Perfect. It's it's perfect for Psalm 83, and it's perfect for Ezekiel 38 and 39, the Battle of Gog and Magog. I mean, even to the point where when we left Afghanistan, we left a ton of weapons over there, and it's just going to make Psalm 83 a lot easier. It's just going to make Psalm 83 a lot easier. But we've got, over here in America, we've got two superpowers very upset with us. We can start with Russia. I think the guy's name second in charge over there is Demetrius. I'm not even sure. Um, that's not even the point. He says a lot of things, but in general, Russia is very, very, very upset with America. Okay, we support Ukraine a lot, F-16s and we even train their military for certain things, and that's actually a requirement. So Russia is seeing this as they're very upset. Now, let me break this down into an individual level, okay? If you hire somebody to beat somebody else up, and that person on the receiving end could do something, maybe had some resources to do something, they would do something eventually. And that's kind of the way Russia sees us. I mean, we're the tick that keeps kind of coming to bite them, and they're getting tired of this. And the same is with China. They won't talk to us now. It's funny. I want to break this down to an individualistic level because I helped this guy out over here that's destitute, and I'm trying to get his life back on track, and it's working. We're getting his life back. It's only circumstances, okay? So anyway, I was talking to him in the car. I was driving, and he was trying to explain how abusive his dad was, and he would go into rage, and then he would give him the silent treatment. And this is where I was kind of interested. I said, well, when you had got the silent treatment, how did you feel? And this is what he said. He said, I never knew when he was going to attack. So, here we see China, they won't even talk to us. We're not in a good position over here. We're not in a good position over here. All right. Elon Musk. This is in the technology area. Mark of the beast and all that. Well, he did get a patent from the FDA, and it's an experimental patent with a brain chip. And what they're saying is, well, this is for people that, they have maybe a spinal problem or something. It's for that. But that they're going to start, I don't know, making this for the mark of the beast. I mean, when technology's there to read your mind, that's the mark of the beast. All you have to do is read Revelation chapter 13. And what in an interview in 2016, I think, not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, Klaus Schwab, or whatever the guy's name is. I've seen him before. Well, he wants to chip everybody by 2026. I think he implied that in 2016 at the latest. So I'm surmising it's first our clothes, and then it's our skin. And, basically what this is going to boil down to is it's going to be a direct communication between our brain and the world. And no, this is not some science fiction movie. This is real. All right. I heard that our government over here in the U.S. has been telling prisons to keep a 10-day supply of food. Okay. This is weird. I've never seen this before. I'm only assuming that they're trying to reach the stores too. I think that would be very difficult to reach the small stores. But that just goes to show you that something's wrong with the food supply. I was the one that said that between the economy and the food seems a little more urgent. And there's basically 5 things that would cause a food supply. The pollinators, they're insects that are decreasing. The erosion of topsoil. There's a fertilizer shortage. There's the supply chain issues. Even to the point, sometimes we even pay farmers not to grow food, as strange as that may sound, and weather-related issues. Well, regarding the weather-related issues, we've been getting either extreme hot or a lot of rain, and it's not been good for crops. And even some fishermen have been saying the fish don't look all that good either, So, all right, well, you know what? I'm just going to say that a lot of watchers have been hearing the shofar, and they've also been seeing clocks. So that's 2 things. I don't know how much more blunt God can get. The shofar, that when we go up in the rapture, yeah, we're going to hear a shofar trumpet. Yeah, hooray! And they've been seeing a lot of clocks. I've always been a fan of the spring for the rapture, but I've most recently, in the past two years, have been a real fan of the summer. A real fan. Um, and a lot of people, they're praying. They have been fasting for 21 days for the tribulation to start. Now, can you possibly imagine that? I mean, I've heard of people praying to God, fasting, please don't judge, please don't judge. These people are saying, please judge, and I have a feeling God's going to answer their prayer, because there's been enough people that have really did without food, and they're praying to God for a fast, All right, listen, 8 billion people in the world now. It took a long time for us to go from 7 billion to 8 billion people, but we're finally pretty much at 8 billion people. I think that's significant because 8 is the number of new beginning. And a lot of times I talk about these, our loss of freedoms. I gave you my opinion last week that we've been losing our freedom since 9/11. Some more than others. And then with this new digital technology, we're even going to lose our freedom more, unfortunately. But, I don't listen to Glenn Beck too much. Maybe I should. I heard he's very good. But he said years ago, I remember listening to him years ago, and he said that you can't market and sell freedom. It's just there. What a way to phrase it. He is so right. Freedom is a gift from God. It's just there. You can't market it. You can't sell it. And that's what we've been trying to do ever since 911. You know, we put this package of freedom when it's really bondage. And this didn't affect everybody. But, all right. Now, okay. Let's talk about the fig tree. Matthew 24:32. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. Here's the key. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. Okay? That's the famous verse. Okay? All right. All right. The bottom line is this. The leaves didn't start to blossom until 1949/1950. So we just automatically assumed that the fig tree generation would be the exact date of the birth. But that's not what Jesus said. That's not what he said at all. He said, when his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves. Those leaves started to really blossom right around 1949 and really started to blossom in 1950. Remember, May 14th, 1948, there were no leaves. There were no leaves. So if you believe that the 7-year tribulation will be the strict 7 years or 360 days, then that tribulation has to start soon, because that would be either 2029 or 2030, probably 2030. I always like to leave a little interpretation, because Jesus says, for the elect's sake, the days will be shortened. I don't know what that means. I really don't. I can tell you this, that scientists are a little baffled as to why the days are going faster. That much I can tell you. All right, friend, listen. That'll be my Watchman on the Wall report. I'm not going to keep you. But obviously we're very, very close. So keep looking up, and God bless you very much. Very, 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 very much.